B94.9 WATV. Welcome to the show on Sunday nights. The V stands for Vital. I am Lady Wu. I got my people with me. The crew is in the building. Introduce yourselves, please.
What's going on? It's your boy Ready Eddie.
What's up, y'all? It's Marshall, the intern.
Marshall's back.
Yo, y'all, it's Antoine DeMarcus in the building.
And he's back too. Welcome back, y'all. I mean, Eddie been holding it down. Where have y'all been? Where have you been? What's been happening?
I just got back from Miami.
Ow. Okay.
Yes.
Where you been?
In the house.
In the house.
In the house. It's so much happening in these
I'll take
streets.
that.
You got to
that.
limit your outside activities.
It's safe here. As for now. And so it's rather safe here. Hello, Cal. And everybody else is tuned in on the live. We're going to jump straight in, have a special guest with an event that's happening soon. I want you guys to know about it. Hey, Jock.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for inviting me, allowing me to come in and speak on this.
Absolutely. Ready Eddie is always ready. Hey, we got Jock coming. So, hey. What's going on? How have you been? Let everybody know who you are. All of that in like one whop.
I'm Jock Austin, a licensed professional counselor here in the Birmingham area, and also the executive director of Brother Let's Talk. And we've got an event coming up this Saturday. It's part of our Heal to Live series. And Brother Tony Porter is going to be speaking on breaking out of the man box to a healthy manhood.
Okay. The man box. What kind of box is that? I don't know that I've seen that box.
Well, if you'll visit his website, which is a call to men, calltomen.org, and Tony Porter talks about how we as men in our culture have, in order to fit that identity of manhood, it's put us sort of in a box in terms of how we look at ourselves, more importantly, how we treat our women, how we treat our families. He talks about it has taught a view of manhood and women and girls that identified them in a kind of negative way. So inside this man box, he says women and girls are objects, the property of men. They have a lesser value than men. That boys and men should not cry openly or express emotion, and boys and men should not show fear or weakness. And inside that box, he also says that boys and men should not act like a girl, and I think about that term of, acting girly. I think coming up, I know I've always heard it, if you kind of hurt, a lot of people who understand this who've played sports,
stop acting like a girl
or you're injured.
Yeah.
You're hurt or you're injured. So if you're injured, okay, sit down, you good. If you hurt, rub some dirt on and get back in there and play. But in that same token, around their peers, if your emotions are hurt, you're being girly.
Wow.
If you can't talk about emotion. So I think unknowingly, a lot of men have been cultured or indoctrined to fit in sort of this man box and to develop this identity that prevents them from, one, being able to express their emotion, being able to talk about what it is that they feel like, but then also view women as sort of this lesser object and not have that sense of empathy, I think, that is needed in our culture.
That's deep. So his visit here is going to open the box and make these things make sense for us. Is it just a man event?
No, it is not. We're inviting the community. We're going to be at the Tuxedo Ballroom, and it's a breakfast event. We'll be offering breakfast. We want men to bring their sons and their significant others, family, come out and let's engage in this conversation about developing a healthy manhood. Like I said, it's a part of our Heal to Live series with Brother Let's Talk. And as you know, since 2017, we've been hosting barbershop talks and community events focused on the awareness of mental health among men and boys, and really going out into the community, being consistent with this conversation and bringing those members who are vital to this topic to come and have conversations here in the city of Birmingham, just to kind of, spread the word, so to speak.
Right. So amazing work has been happening. I know I've been able to be a part of some of this work. Eddie is a part of this work. And Brother Let's Talk is not just brothers talking. It's the whole community involved in strengthening and empowering brothers so that you all can lead and not have to be in a box. That's big for me. That's big for me. Just all across the board, that's big for me. Eddie, what you got?
Yeah, the work that Brother Let's Talk has been doing in the community, just me being a part of that and seeing men open up at these barbershop talks in their own communities and then valuing it enough to come back to the next one and then come back to the next one is I think that when you as a man come participate in these conversations, it frees you more to get out of the box that is identified as the man box. But you got to start having the conversation somewhere. This might as well be this one.
Awesome. Which I was going to say,
Well, I was
details
just
on the
saying, you
event.
know, Eddie came aboard. We've been around since 2017, and I think it was early 2018 when Eddie came aboard, and he's been a crucial part of our mission.
Oh yeah, he's
And
vital.
He's vital. You know that. You know that. And thank you for being a part of our effort as well.
sure.
You know, because we're trying to build this network of providers because there's a lot of barriers to seeking mental health services, and we want to help to reduce that by collaborating with other organizations and just being able to heal our community.
Yeah. So if people are interested in attending the event, what and where can they go to get more information, or just to go ahead and get tickets, or what's necessary?
Well, it's a free event.
It's a free
It's
event.
open to people who want to attend. So come while the food lasts and while it's hot.
Okay.
You know, one thing that we've identified with Brother Let's Talk, that good food is conducive to a great conversation.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we want to be able to provide that. It starts at 9 a.m. But I also want to congratulate and thank Meds Plus for being a part of this. So we'll be another mission with Brother Let's Talk that we've took on since COVID is providing not just vaccinations, but health screenings, because there are so many men in our community who are not in tune with their own body physically.
Yes.
And so through those health screenings, we've been able to identify some issues. Those men go on and address those. And so starting 8 a.m. at the Tuxedo Ballroom, we'll open the floor for those health screenings. At 9 a.m., we'll start breakfast and have the conversation shortly after.
Awesome. All right. So date is this coming Saturday.
Yes, ma'am. April 29th.
April 29th at the
Tuxedo Ballroom, which is located at 2001 Avenue D in Birmingham. And also want to, you know, thank our sponsors who are collaborating with this. Ronnie Rice and his foundation, 100 Black Men. Of course, A Call to Men, Meds Plus, and Brother Let's Talk.
Awesome. Looking forward to you guys meeting us out there on Saturday morning, even if it's just for a short time to get into the conversation and learn more about getting out or opening up the man box. What y'all think about this conversation?
I think it's super important. I love that y'all are offering the opportunity for men to be able to open up and speak, because a lot of people try to silence men's voices when it comes to their emotions, but want them to speak up when it's time for them to handle issues. So it's like, I think there needs to be a balance. So I really appreciate that y'all are doing this for people.
That's what's up. What you think, Twan?
Okay, I think it is a good thing, especially when we're having a lot of conversations about masculinity versus femininity in men. And so to be able to, I guess we're going to redefine what it is to be a man in today's society and still be considered a man.
Okay.
And to say that that's okay if that's the way you feel, you still a man.
I like that.
Big props to that.
This is vital.
Yeah.
Jock, we will push that throughout the show tonight so that we can make sure that the vital listeners know and will be present. You all don't have to get tickets. You just have to show up. All right. So 8 a.m. for the screenings.
Yes.
Breakfast at 9 a.m. conversation immediately after. And it's right in Ansley. So everything is happening right here in the neighborhood. So go to
brotherletstalk.com or visit us on Facebook or Instagram. You'll see information and then future events that we're having as well. I just want to bring up our next barbershop talk will be May 21st. And we'll be in Hueytown at Milestones.
Okay.
And so want to invite you to that as well. But check our social media links and keep up.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping through. We're going to continue to remind everybody about the event on Saturday. Seems like tonight is a man's night. It's all for the men. It must be Men's Day. Do churches still do Men's Day? It's a man, right? Like, do churches still do Men's Day? I don't know if they do or not, but we got it right here on Vital tonight. Got two guys waiting in the lobby that are about to come and give us some more things that strong Black men are doing in the community. Mr. Jermaine Stanton is one of those guys, and then another one that's going to kick off our VIP series is in studio as well. They're out there talking to each other, but I want y'all to come talk to the guests. Both of you, come on in. there are a lot of things that are happening in the community, and a lot of people are making the call for Black men to step up. We need our men to be role models and leaders in the community. We hear that all the time, right? With the violence, with anything.
Yeah.
It's always a cry for the men to be out front. And I guess I want to start off the conversation piece of tonight's show by asking, do you all feel like you're already doing that? You're already leading or already involved in your own way? Any of you?
I would say in my community.
Okay.
My close circle, knit, especially I don't have any kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be that when kids are around me, to try to be some kind of father figure.
It's needed.
Because I think that's kind of what kids are missing.
And today. Did you say authority?
Kind of authoritative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because there is a saying that they only kind of listen to a male's voice. Not in all cases that's true, but in some, that is needed.
Think about those that haven't heard or don't get an opportunity to hear. They don't know how to respond when they do.
Right.
Okay.
Leading is kind of a strong word for me. I want to say impacting. I think maybe I'm the catalyst for creating some leaders. So working with kids, working with families, trying to help people have and cultivate environments in which they can, be healthy enough to get a solid foundation for leadership. I feel like that's my role right now. Leading is strong for me. I'm just doing my piece.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing. I'm not really leading. I'm just doing my thing. What about you guys? What are you doing? On a daily basis, like what? Come on in. What? Are y'all scared to come in here? Move the chair and come in. Thank you. Come on in or stand or however whatever we need to do. But what are you doing on a daily basis? Since tonight is men's night, just how are you living, and are you comfortable with leading in the community as the community cries out for men to be present and be in leadership and be out front? What are you doing?
I'll say just being an upstanding citizen, leading by example, not just leading with words, but living my life and living life correctly.
Okay.
And also, I believe that this app that I've been working on can also be a very good catalyst.
Oh, we're about to learn more about the app.
Mm-hmm.
I got another guy that's in studio. What are you doing? Like not just we're gonna learn more about all that in a minute, but how are you, what are you doing?
Well, I talk to the youth.
Okay.
I go to the high schools. If I see them in the streets, I try to advise people, you got to think, because I run into a lot of Black males and I see that they might have firearms on their side, but just because you got a firearm on your side, you got to be responsible with that firearm. Because you got to think about the consequences if you use this firearm in the wrong way. So I do that in my community every day on an everyday basis.
Okay. So leadership, manhood, influence, all of those things, mentorship, all of those things, living the example, just being present. That's big. Michelle, we don't have to, people don't really ask us, well, we need more women involved. What? We're always involved. We're always up front.
Exactly.
So, I want to be able to highlight when men are doing great things. So this is men's night. I got a comment that says, I see tonight will be interesting. So yes, let's get straight to the conversation. Already seated for the first part of the show. Unless if you want to come in and get right here so you can get comfortable, that'll work as well. But already seated at the mic, we're going to talk about an app. Y'all know we are in the day of technology, apps and programs and things like that. Mr. Jermaine Stanton, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. So you have developed an app for the people.
Yes, it's for the people.
All right, so what's the name of your app?
Okay, the name of the app is called Black Business Traffic.
Black Business Traffic.
Yes. The name of the app is Black Business Traffic. And the idea of the app is that it's fashioned in the form of a navigation app, but it's navigating a person to locally owned, Black-owned businesses in the greater Birmingham area.
Okay. So Yellow Pages, Green Book, the White Pages, Google, all of those different things that people have always used as a resource. you now have put into an app at your fingertips in your phone that people can see and use.
Yes. So Black Business Traffic is not, it's not Yelp, or it's not, I'm not trying to capture every Black-owned business, but I'm vetting these businesses and I'm putting my stamp on them, and I'm rating, saying these are the best or the top rated Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
So the user can quickly identify the best Black-owned businesses in various categories.
If anybody's wondering, I'm wanting them to see who's speaking, but I'm holding the laptop right now. So it may be moving a little bit. But anywho, you're capturing the best of the best according to who?
Well, initially it's according to me.
Okay.
And according to the data and developers. But now that the app is out, it belongs to the people. So the people will dictate what restaurant is number one, what business is number one, what club, what bar. So based on the reviews, and thank you. So based on reviews, the ratings will change.
Okay. Based on reviews. Now, yeah, let's jump in on this. How many of us have businesses?
Me.
Now, you want to be on an app. You want to have you want to get more traffic. You want to get the traffic that he's trying to send your way. And it says the best of the best. So how do you all determine the best? What makes a business the best? Customer service.
I was finna say it.
Service. Okay.
Listen, for me, deliciousness.
Yes.
Most of the, like I would sacrifice customer service for some deliciousness.
Deliciousness.
Yeah, I want. If you got consistent deliciousness, but poor customer service, you can get away with some of it. For me, everybody ain't got that, but
I'm kind of like that too. Okay, deliciousness.
I'm gonna say other customers' reviews.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a lot of places you haven't really tried. And then it's like, once you hear about it, okay, well, you might be a little skeptical to go. But if I hear somebody I know say, oh, yeah, you need to try that, it's legit.
Okay.
Right?
Reviews. Marshall, what you think? What is going to, it's good, it's the top of the line, top-notch quality business?
I definitely think reviews help a lot. I also like customer service. I think that's really important, because if I walk in and you being mean, I'm gonna think your food is not that good. Because why do you have an attitude?
Why are you
How
upset?
could you be mad around good food, good vibes?
Okay.
Let me add ease of access.
Mm-hmm.
Because there be some places that where you don't have parking, and nowhere online I can find that you don't have parking.
Yeah.
Or you a building off in the middle of a bunch of buildings, but you don't got no clear sign, and I can pass by you 2 or 3 times. I will easily, after the 3rd time, I'm going somewhere else.
Sometimes some do be the best spots that don't really have.
Yeah,
you got to really be looking for.
What you think, Lester?
It's sad to say, but you're right. Some of the nastiest spots have the best food, but cleanliness.
Okay, cleanliness, yeah.
When I go to a restaurant, I look for reviews. I want to see some 90s. I don't want to see no bad grades.
Okay.
Yeah.
So high scores and cleanliness. So Jermaine, when you are putting together your list of businesses that you're going to add to the list, it sounds like we're talking a lot about restaurants, but like Eddie said, convenience, access, parking, those type things I think about with my business.
Sure.
So what are some of the things that you're looking for when you say this is one that's going on the app?
So there's 3 key factors on Black Business Traffic, and you guys really hit on all of them. It's customer service, price, and quality of product or service.
Okay.
Those are the 3 determining factors. But I also look at visibility. Can I look your business up and find it? Can I look at reviews? Can I see other people's reviews? Can I see pictures? Like, all of that stuff matters. Like, I should be able to find you before and then shoppers are so smart today, and one thing I learned was, like, sticking to the restaurant thing, people actually like to look at your menu and pick out what they're gonna order before they even get to the restaurant. How often do we do that? So can I do that with your restaurant? That type of stuff matters. So all of that is factored in.
Okay.
Because some of those restaurants, you have to go online and find one of those places that go take pictures of your menu inside, and then that ain't even dependable because sometimes it's been unchanged. Yeah.
So I have a question. Okay, so I've noticed, being a business owner, right? Sometimes we are harder on our community when it comes to businesses. So is there any kind of contingency that you have within this app?
Because when you say we, you mean Black, because it's Black business traffic, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because, think about it. we'll have a bad review on this particular boutique, but don't mind going to Walmart and putting up with they BS.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I hear those horror stories all the time, and I know what you're talking about. People always talk about how they try, but they only give it one try. Seems like they was like, I tried to support this person,
right?
But they gave it that one try. But you'll go
immediately go to social
media, and bash them and give them a bad review. Yeah, and we got to stop that. So one of the things with Black Business, and that's why I only give you like a top 10. I try to identify the best because I want the user to have a good experience. So I'm identifying the best on Black-owned businesses in hopes that you will have a good experience and come back.
Okay.
Because the overall goal is I want to see consistent support. We don't want to just patronize a business just once and we never go again, but we want consistent support.
Okay.
As Black businesses.
Our business is going to reach out to you. I can only imagine that, like, after they hear this, they're gonna be like, so look, I need you to come and check us out because I want to be on the app. Is that the idea that you have?
Well, I put a suggestion tab on the app for that because I can't see everything. Even in the city that I live in, it's a suggestions tab. So I need the people to tell me what to put on the app.
Okay. So you prefer those to come from the people, not from the owners.
I mean, if I get 100 suggestions for Ray's Barbecue, then Ray's Barbecue going on the app.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay, Ray, where you
at? I could be a food reviewer for you if you need.
If you in Eddie Bowl, clearly for some deliciousness.
Deliciousness.
We want deliciousness as a tab
across the board.
I'm gonna have to use that word.
Yeah, you got it. It's vital. Deliciousness, effectiveness, and cleanliness.
Okay, there you go.
Consistency into that as well. Consistency. I don't like going to places.
Yes.
I don't like going places where it's like it tastes good this day, but then I go another day and it does not hit the same. That's so disappointing.
Okay, that's okay. Yes. Write that down. Okay. What about stylists? We have hairstylists, therapists, mechanics in the room. And I'm just trying to see, like, are those some of the tabs? Like, how are you deciding what types of businesses are on the app?
So all of those businesses are on the app. I'm currently in the process of adding makeup artists.
Okay.
But mechanics is on there. What else did you say?
Therapist.
There, of course, therapists on there. Yeah. So it should be pretty comprehensive. I don't want to put too many categories because I don't want to bog the user down.
Yeah.
Scrolling through 100 categories. But once we get to about 50 categories, I think that you should be able to find just about anything that you need. If you really want to support a Black-owned business, this tool will put the best Black-owned businesses in your hand. And in the hopes that you'll have a good experience.
That's what's up.
And this is currently up and running.
Yes.
Okay.
I want
I downloaded it.
Wait a minute.
As soon as he said the name.
Yeah.
So I'll tell a story. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was downtown and wanted to go to breakfast somewhere. I wanted like some grits. I didn't want I wanted some real breakfast. And I pulled up to Z's. I remember when Z's was open?
Sugar or butter?
Baby, not no sugar, salt, and some butter.
Okay.
Like sugar. Yeah, wrong. Okay, so yeah. Pulled up to this place and the place was gone. So I was like, dang, it would be so. I'm thinking if I were from somewhere else, travel is my self-care. So I'm always trying to be somewhere else. And if I would have been somewhere else in another place, I'm like, I wouldn't know where to go and eat. I wouldn't know where a Black-owned breakfast spot was. Then I'm like, damn, we don't have any. That was the conclusion I came to. We didn't really have any. But it gave me an idea. And then I met Jermaine a few years later and I was like, dog, this is something that I envisioned out of a need that I had. I wanted real breakfast. I did not want to go to a fast food restaurant and I couldn't find one. So then he says, well, yeah, I'm working on an app. An app? So what made you say an app? Like, do you have a background in, what is that? IT, what is that? What would that be?
Is that coding?
Yeah, maybe. STEM?
Not at all. I just wanted people to use it. And how many years ago was that I told you I was working on that app?
Had to be like five years ago.
It was a long time ago. It's been a long time coming. So yeah. But I just wanted people to use it. And I know how the relationship we have with our phones today.
Mm-hmm.
I know it needed to be on a phone for it to be used.
Yeah. This is true. So this is not so you haven't always had apps and I'm gonna just do it. This one, this is actually like your first. This is it. This is the inception of you doing a technological venture.
but God gave me this vision.
Okay.
Honestly, just to be honest, God gave me this vision. I was sitting at work one day, and I heard a friend say, "You know, Coach Nick." Shout out to Coach Nick.
Yeah.
Coach Nick he wasn't even talking to me, but he said he was.
Oh, you was eavesdropping.
He was on the phone.
Oh, you was really eavesdropping.
And
talking about saving?
And he was
no. Walton.
He was telling somebody how he can help them with their website.
Okay.
And he said, I never forget. He said that way I can drive more traffic to your website.
Okay.
That's all he said. And he meant it as a metaphor, talking about getting more
Getting the people to
eyeballs
come.
on people. And when he said that, the whole app just kind of jumped in my head. Like I got chill bumps. And like I was like, that's it, a navigation app to navigate people to Black-owned business.
That's what's up. And when you get on the app, it actually looks that way. It has street signs and roads and like, so you're traveling, you're navigating through the Black business world right here in the Magic City. So is it just for Birmingham?
Right now, it's just for Birmingham, but it's gonna be for the entire nation here soon.
Okay, so go ahead and get the app. How can they find your app?
It is on iOS, Android devices, wherever you get your apps. Just download it, Google Play or the App Store.
Put in.
I just downloaded.
Okay, and the name of it again?
Black Business Traffic. Black Business Traffic. I need you guys to download it and use it. Use it. Find you a little boutique or a bar or a restaurant or something you like, and give it some consistent support.
All right.
I'm already a believer because my favorite bakery on here.
There you go.
Okay. See, deliciousness.
Yep.
Okay. So one more, I just thought about this. The change out, like how long will the businesses be on, or will they be in the top 10? How long do they stay on there?
Well, that depends on the volume and the traffic, how volatile the reviews are. So right now, I'll probably make adjustments like weekly.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So weekly, that means that if you are the best of the best, you got to keep it popping all the time. You got to come up with new stuff and get your people saying, hey, we want to continue to see so-and-so on the business app. This is good. This is really good. Let's give Mr. Jermaine Stanton some rounds of applause to let him know that we are rocking with the app. Do you all have anything else for him in studio?
I think this is be good, especially when we have certain events.
Yeah.
Like when we had the Olympics, I think this would have been great to support a lot of Black-owned businesses.
Yeah.
But will you do any advertisement? Let's just say you have your top listed when we have certain things. So like we get a big influx during Classic. Will you put anything out there that says, okay, from this app, this is our top. If you're looking to do this.
Oh yeah. He'll come on Vital and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm always thinking about the end user and us using the app. I don't want to bog it down with a whole bunch of advertisements, but eventually probably will be some short ads of only the businesses that are featured on the app. I will allow them to probably put some short ads on there.
Yeah, like listening to other people, you'll have a million tabs and a whole bunch going on. So I'm glad that you are very clear on what you know that you want us to see from your app. Because I say, look, comment section, pictures, all types of stuff. So I'm glad that you're sticking to what your vision was in the beginning. And that's a big thing for us. Like, what is my vision? I just want you to support it. Okay. Just support the vision. Get the app. Free app, Black owned, Black operated, and featuring Black businesses. So be sure to get on there. You may see somebody that you don't know. People talk about how small Birmingham is, but there are so many places, vendors, entrepreneurs, and business owners that you don't know and have not yet met because you hadn't had an opportunity. You hadn't had a platform to see them on. So this is a great platform to find those people and businesses on. And once again, the name of the app is
Black Business Traffic.
And it's a free app.
Free app. Download it today.
Let's see if we got any comments on this. Let's check all of them. How will he make money?
Get out of his business.
Yeah, that was the question.
The app.
Download the app. I'm quite sure like you all are going to have to buy some commercials and stuff like that and sponsorships. Duh. But yeah, that's a good question. It is a good question because we are concerned about each other. We want to know how we're going to make money. Okay. So free app, get it, support it, go to the businesses and boom, run it up. Jermaine, thank you for coming and spending some time with us to tell about the app. We hope to see you back soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As it grows, we want to know businesses as you get on the app. We want to hear, we want to see. So keep us in the loop. Tonight, we're going to be kicking off a feature series. Like every once in a while, we're going to meet some great people, and I call it the VIP series. And it's going to be, it's not just one thing that stands for. What do you all think VIP stands for? Very important people. And that is really like so insulting. I want VIP. I'm a very important person. What about the rest of us? I'm important.
But nowadays, you're not even important. You just got money.
Very. We need an I word for money. People. But here, vitally impactful people, vision, influence, positivity. Like it's gonna stand for so many different things depending on who we talk to. It may stand for what we've been talking about: deliciousness, cleanliness, voluptuousness. I don't know. It can stand for so many different things here. But tonight it is going to stand for vital, impactful, and the person that we'll meet tonight is already sitting over in the wings. So either we can start now. I think you got a whole story to tell, right? I think we should start now. So yeah, for the first one ever, we reached out and been chatting about him coming in for a few weeks. And finally in the studio, Mr. Lester Milligan. Come on to the mic. Come on to the mic. He's a VIP, not a very important. All of us are very important people, but a vitally impactful, influential person is in the studio. So how are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. Give it all to God.
Amen. I have watched you for several years doing different things. I found out something new about you the other day.
What that?
Yeah, man, my mechanic. I was like, what? Who?
Yeah, that's my first passion.
Really? Why I didn't know that? Why you never posted?
I posted.
I've never seen it.
I did a segment called The Shade Tree Mechanic.
And that's what they said. I was like, I didn't know that. How did I miss
Shade
it?
Tree? They like, what up, Shade Tree? And I'm like, all right.
You still got time to do that?
It's hard. I'm working in between.
I got some stuff. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna hook you up.
Okay.
I'm gonna hook you up.
I was asking because okay. Anywho, this is about other things that you're doing. So welcome in. I'm glad we finally got a chance to do this. We've been,
talking about it for years.
Yeah, you VIP for real. The first one in this series of conversations. So tell us, what do you go by?
I go by Lester Milligan now. I was
by
all these different aliases.
Lester Milligan.
Yeah, I go by Lester Milligan now.
What were some of those aliases?
Black Ice, Ice, all these crazy names, Prime Time, which that's Dion.
But you took it for a little while.
Yeah, I took it for a little while.
Okay.
LL, Lost Boy when I was at Alabama State.
AS, okay.
ASU. Yep.
Okay. So a whole lot of them. You had a lot of names.
Yeah, but I'm a grown man now, so I go by my name.
Okay.
Lester Milligan.
So those are all of the names you've had, but I'm sure they came with what you were doing at the time. Right. So tell us about all of the many things that you've done that people may know you for.
Oh, people know me for being in the car business for years. And I'm ex-military. I ain't gonna say ex, I'm former military.
Okay.
But all those different names, they had their time in my life. Because I always haven't been a good boy or a good man. So I think all these journeys that I have been through, and I'm still here to talk about it, I can share it with the young males I run into and females.
Yeah.
I tell the stories because, I got 8 kids and I'm trying to keep them above ground and keep them straight.
8 children. So father of 8. What neighborhood are you from in the city?
I'm from Brighton.
From Brighton. You ain't even from Birmingham.
I claim it all.
You should.
Everybody know me in every city.
That's what's up. So comedy is also a part of your resume, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
Actually, if I tell you the story on the comedy, my friend Reggie Bryan, he owns the Lux. He invited me to a comedy show, and I went to that comedy show, and I just built my nerves up to get on stage. I wasn't even on that show. I just kind of forced my way on stage.
Were you already doing comedy?
I wasn't doing comedy. I always been a silly guy growing up through school, cracking jokes and stuff, but I never hit the stage.
So that particular night, you said, let me get up here and
I got up there and I talked trash and said a few little jokes. And I met this guy by the name of Ripcord. He was doing Come Laugh. It was like a comedy, what you call it?
Like a showcase.
A showcase, a comedy showcase. He was doing month to month, and I tell everybody about Ripcord and Reggie Bryant. I wouldn't be sitting in front of you today if it wasn't for those two guys.
Okay.
Because they really inspired me. Because a lot of time we feel like we want to do something in life, but we don't want to jump off that bridge. We don't want to take that chance. And I think that's my message, is to tell people, don't have no fears. It don't matter if you fail, try it, do it. And that's what I try to do now. I try to just lead by example.
That's what's up. So let's recap. Mechanic, comedian. What else? What else he say, y'all? Father of 8.
Father of 8.
8. Actor. So that's kind of what everybody's been looking at and seeing a lot of now. But I think before you got into the acting, life did change for you, like in a major way.
Oh yeah. My health. I tell people that's what me and Jermaine. I was getting on Jermaine out there in the lobby about his health, because I said, just because you look good, get you a primary care doctor. Mm-hmm. And my primary care doctor is the world famous Dr. Hernando Carter. Mm-hmm. Him and his wife, they take care of my whole family. I love him to death. He's another reason I'm still here, because you got to get good quality health care.
This is the 3rd time tonight, Eddie, that we've talked about men's health care. I think it's been 3 times, like just from some personal stuff we were discussing. But that's confirmation for us to really continue to push that here. And it's men's night. So I think it's very appropriate and vital that we resound that your health is important. So Dr. Carter, did he find something or what happened?
Well, what I love about Dr. Carter, when I first met him, because I was getting all my treatment from the VA. And I said, I'm going to get me a primary care doctor, because I wanted a more personal feel. And when I came to Dr. Carter, he took me in just like a car. I'm going to compare myself to a car.
Okay.
He got all my vitals and everything. He checked me out from head to toe, ran all these tests. And then he said, well, this is what we're going to go with. And he noticed I had a heart murmur. That's what they was calling it at the time. That heart murmur turned into mitral valve prolapse, and it got so bad after the medication wouldn't help, and I was out of breath. I take 3 steps and I was out of breath. And I was still trying to perform and still trying to go through my day-to-day, and people didn't know I was this sick. And that would hurt me so bad, because people looked at me and say, oh, you got muscles, this and that. But I was dying.
And you knew it.
I knew it, and I wasn't sharing it with everybody. So like when I would go places, people like, get up on stage and tell some jokes or do this. And I might have been, I wasn't in the mood all the time. And I kind of realized, like, I remember like with Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what he went through?
Trying to figure out if I should say something or not, or making a decision not to.
Yeah.
And then people just doing what people do. Peopling, right?
Yeah. We so hard on each other. And I wish we would stop doing that, because I know my weight fluctuated. My weight had shot up to like 230. And people was like, oh man, you look good. But I was full of fluid. My body was full of fluid.
Yeah.
I was swelling up. And it got to the point where the doctors told me, they said, you got to have heart surgery. If you don't have heart surgery, I said, Doc, how long will I live? He said, probably another 2 or 3 years. You're going to gradually go down. Yeah.
What you say, Michelle?
I said, that's crazy.
Yeah. I want to ask, though, what was it that, like you chose not to say anything? You chose not to just tell people this is what's happening. Why was that?
Well, because men, we tend to be macho. We want to be macho all the time. And guys, listen up. Let's stop being macho so much. Get that colonoscopy test, prostate test, get these different tests done, and so we can be here to see our grandkids and our loved ones. and have a good quality of life.
And I think a lot of that is fear.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fear and to not knowing. And I say not knowing because a lot of men don't talk about their health issues. So when I feel something on the inside that's wrong, I think the worst, but I don't think it's the worst, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to a man, I guess it makes sense. Like, I know it's probably bad, but it probably ain't that bad.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Usually, if we're not bleeding, it's nothing to be worried about.
Because I know for
Okay.
me, I got a 3-day rule.
Okay.
If it's longer than 3 days and I can't treat it with over the counter, then maybe I need to go.
That's pretty smart. Okay. Okay. Now I'm feeling like the more I talk to men about what they've learned from hearing stories and seeing other men go through things, I'm like, okay, I got a little more faith in y'all. Jeez.
Oh my God.
It is. We go back to talking about that man box. We go back
Okay.
to talking about that system of what it means to be vulnerable about our own life and our own experiences, especially when the position that we have in our family, our community, is to be the strong one, is to be the one that's on top. Whether that is warranted or not, that's where we end up being. And so that it's an internal struggle as to whether you're going to communicate with the people you're supposed to be strong for about what you consider as a weakness.
And then the saying was no days off, right?
Yeah.
In society, I can't take no days off. If I ain't working, I ain't eating, as most folks would say.
Yep.
So if I have a health issue, I can't sit around all day in the ER. And then they might have to admit me. Now I'm
Yep.
down for a whole week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then these jobs, these some of these employers, they don't really care about their employees, because I know when I was working at Mercedes, I worked at Mercedes, and that's when I first realized I had heart problems, because after lunch I would start getting cold and weak, but I was like, there's nothing to it, because I just worked a lot, and I was going to work every day, and I was about to die, and I didn't even realize it. So one night I was about to faint at work, and I had walked up to my supervisor. And I said, I feel like I'm about to faint. And I walked up front, and they called the paramedics and everything. My heart was like, my blood pressure was super low. I was sick as I could be, but I was worried about a job. So don't worry about a job, because I have seen people die on that job.
On the job, yeah.
On that job, they scoop you up and they train somebody else for your position. So love yourself.
Wow. So this situation, or this health scare for you, actually turned into you having to have a major surgery that a lot of us, we didn't see the surgery, but we saw you there. Take us there.
Well, November, I think it's November 21st, something like that. And they did a procedure on me before the heart surgery. And I tell people I almost died from that procedure. And I just didn't understand where I was kind of like questioning God, and we don't supposed to question God. And I was like, why all this stuff happening to me? And I was just kind of like, I was trying to throw a pity party. So that's the reason I didn't tell everybody.
Okay.
But I started selling my vehicles and selling stuff and giving away personal things that belong to me. Because I told my wife, I said, I feel like I'm getting ready to die. So I'm so silly. I was asking people, what do you want from me? What you want? You want this shirt? You want this
jacket? Still
jacket?
not telling them what was going on.
I wasn't telling people what was going on.
I've seen that done before.
And I applied for the Wonder Years.
The show?
The reboot.
Okay.
And I didn't get the reboot. I didn't get it. But the casting company reached out to me about 2 weeks later, I say, for a movie with Will Smith. And I was just like, I'm gonna do this movie if it kills me. I told my doctors, I said, I'm gonna do this movie. He's like, well, Lester, your heart is in bad shape. And he said, promise me if you start feeling bad or anything, go to a local hospital in Louisiana. and my daughter, Kiara Milligan. I got to say her name. I love her to death.
What
I
up,
love all my
Kiara?
children. She said, Dad, I ain't going to let you drive down there. She volunteered. She took me down there. And it meant the world to me because I felt like this was going to be my last bucket list. I said, I'm going to work with Will Smith and then I'm going to die. But it got worse. It got worse, everybody. That's the reason I'm telling everybody this story. While filming the movie, my dad unexpectedly passed away. So I'm like, I had just talked to my dad the night before, and I was like telling him how good everything was going, networking, meeting people. And the next morning, you wake up, he's dead.
Was he ill too?
He wasn't even ill.
Wow.
Come to find out, he had his aorta ruptured on his heart. So we come to find out that we got heart conditions in our family, and we didn't even realize it. So I had to cut production on the movie, and I was just like, my dad was so happy for me. So I'm glad he did get to talk to me, and I got to talk to him that last time.
Yeah.
We buried my dad December 11, 2021. I'm getting choked up. So
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with getting choked up.
Take your time. We at the man box.
And 17 days later, I was getting ready to have open heart surgery. And I went into open heart surgery with a smile. And like I said, my faith in God really got stronger because when I woke up, I said, I'm still here. And I feel like a new man. I feel like I'm 25 again. So please stay on top of your health. I preach to people about mental health as well.
Yeah.
Because I deal with that. And a lot of us deal with that, Stop being so strong that you can't talk to someone. Find someone that you can talk to. We ain't got to be macho all the time.
Well, all right. So breaking it down, this is life from the lens of Lester Milligan, and just kind of building up to what's going on right now. Totally in this moment with you about the different things that have happened health-wise, how your family's been affected, and how you all are still going, how you're still going. And when we come back, we're going to hear more about that part. How are you still going, and what are you into? You're listening to Vital right here on V94.9 WATV, where the V stands for variety with Didi in the morning during the week, but on Sunday nights, it's all vital. And I know you hear it. So be right back. You can call in right now. The phone lines are open if you have questions, comments, thoughts, or feelings. And I know that you're used to hearing me in the midday giving you that musical balance. But I'm a real
You have a choice.
therapist too. I understand
moving like I want to, and my arm go numb sometimes. Like we don't want those things that implicate our positioning as a man, as a protector, as a provider, as society, patriarchy defines it. We fight against that internally first, but then if we go to the basketball court and tell the homies, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. You better get up on these, on this net."
Yeah.
But see, and what's the crazy part about it is, but when somebody dies from that, then we say, okay, well, we start to hear that change within ourselves. I need to make that change. I need to do this than what I've been doing. But then we continue back into that same pattern of, I can't find anybody. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? We can hear somebody dying from cancer, but that still ain't making you going to the doctor.
Right. It ain't gonna make you stop smoking.
And we say that all the time when we see somebody on social media. Oh, there's a video out about somebody just killed themselves on live.
Yep.
And we'll talk about it for a minute, but then we fall back into the same patterns.
3 days.
Yeah.
And what's sad though, people don't talk because of their jobs in a lot of cases, because you don't want nobody to stigmatize you. Well, he was talking crazy, this and that, and it really supposed to be confidentiality. So, what you're doing, that's good. That's good. Because these employers, though, they need to be able to have programs set up where everybody don't know your business. Because some days you wake up, you just ain't feeling good.
Yeah.
It might be raining, anything, and if you need a day off, you should be able to take a day off without getting a point. I hear people so many times talking about a point. Damn, a point.
Okay.
Your life. Ain't nothing more important than that.
There should be something set up within jobs,
right?
Where you get routine psych evals, going back to even physicals. I was talking to a friend the other day. I don't even think they still do that in youth sports. Back then you had to go and get a physical before you even came to practice.
They do.
Before you did, but you don't even hear about it. But yet these kids are dying on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, 994-8949. We are in our VIP segment. First honoree of the segment, Mr. Lester Milligan. So many different themes have come up in this conversation from him telling his story. And that's kind of how it goes. When people tell you their story, you can pull out so much from that. You can relate to things. It's current, it's relevant because it's something that is lived experience. So thank you for being vulnerable and just being open about who you are and what you've gone through and how this has all shaped up for you. We're so happy that you are able to live your dream that you thought.
I never imagined this, for real.
What did you want to be growing up?
Well, my dad wanted me to be a psychiatrist.
Really?
Yeah. So I majored in psychology and stuff, and I didn't really like that.
Then.
And I started doing the cars. So my dad, he bagged up off me and let me start doing the car thing. So I love cars too now. Don't get me wrong. I love paint, body work, because that's another God's gift. That's a trade.
Yeah.
My son, Keyshawn Berry, I've been teaching him the trade. Me and him, we bump heads at time. But I'm teaching him because I tell my son, I said, man, look, you can do this the rest of your life. You can't fire yourself. You might get tired of doing it, but you'll pick back up doing it.
Yes.
So trades is real big. I preach that, and I didn't used to preach that, but trades are real big.
For sure.
Heating, air, whatever, barbering, hairstyling, whatever you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it.
Second week, we've talked about that. So from a psychologist or psychiatrist to a mechanic, like following your dreams, to an actor, Lester Milligan. If people want to find you and see you on your social media, how can they find you?
Oh, I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Lester Milligan, Instagram, Lester Milligan, TikTok, Lester Milligan. Everything's Lester Milligan now. I simplified it because I used to have all these different aliases.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. So anything Lester Milligan, you can find me.
Let's see what comments we had before you go.
We can talk politics too.
Oh, we're about to talk a little bit more. Let's see. Tell both of them, so I guess Jermaine and Miss Celeste, to stay strong and keep up the excellent work. Very glad that Lester Milligan came through his heart issues, and sorry about his dad passing away.
Oh, thank you.
And let us see, do we have got a couple of other ones? I'll pull those up when I can get to them. Thank you so much. You can feel free to hang around and be a part of the rest of the conversation. Y'all, we got another half to go. What has happened this week? Has anything interesting happened this week?
No, but you know that whole teacher fight, sub is really like kind of,
that's a thing. All right, so we're gonna talk about that. There were a couple of things about that. Dadeville has started to, when we were on air last week, we weren't really sure about what had happened, but boy, have we found out. So we'll check in on that and anything else that has happened in the news or in this city. We'll check in and address those vital issues and concerns in just a moment. You're listening to V94.9 WATV on Sunday nights. The V stands for vital.
What's the motive in that shooting?
I'm not sure. I ain't even look at it. Because
Well,
it was crazy.
They got 5 people ranging from 6 people now.
They got 6 now.
Ranging from like 16 to 20, 21, I think.
Yeah. That's sad though.
It is crazy.
And throw their lives away.
Did they say like what? Why what does praying at school gonna do?
This has to be correlated with how loud the fight advocating for the ease of access to guns and guns. We all need guns. Guns protect guns. So why would kids that live in dangerous environments intentionally choose not to have the thing that our society is telling us that we should have the legal right to have to protect ourselves, especially when you have minds that are far too immature to really discern when appropriate use, or to have even the emotional capacity or the chemicals allocated to the right places to make proper decisions in crunch time and high pressure situations.
These high pressure situations are being caused by them, for them, by them. They FUBU. Yeah, because yeah, but for real, because they ain't trying to shoot the enemy. Like they don't. The enemy is not the enemy anymore. The enemy is just whoever looks like me,
enemy
or
can
some,
be your friend.
Yeah, somebody I'm beefing with that's in another neighborhood. To Tarrant to Inglenook, that's a beef that ain't ended yet. To Kingston, like that has not that.
And what I'm seeing is it's like they bold. So it's like you'll go out here and do that. Whereas back in the day, if somebody did that, they hiding out. They going off somewhere, probably Atlanta, Montgomery, somewhere.
No.
But they're hiding out. But now
I'm getting on Facebook.
I can kill 2 people today and be at the gas station where I shot them at tomorrow.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna get on, like I said, on Facebook, basically talking about what happened.
Yeah.
And
the common sense factor too, people would take up for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lester's been talking about mental health, and this is what we always talk about, but what is
I think it's a combination of stuff. I mean,
for sure.
And I'm not gonna say it's music.
But that's a part of the combination.
Is a high influence in it.
Yeah.
And from what I'm taught from my church, whoever has your ear has you. And if that's all you listen to, that's how you gonna react. Because that's all they talking about is, somebody disrespecting me for whatever, and I'm gonna shoot you up and do all of that and get my team, and we doing.
That's what we did in the group Thursday. We played lyrics from their favorite artists. I said, now, this what you listen to when you're doing what? Like, what's your morning routine song? What's your, when I'm feeling bad song? NBA YoungBoy, like every song was something like that. I'm like, you don't ever listen to Amazing Grace?
Ain't no no inspirational music, no R&B,
Young Nudie.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
What's so sad though? Our youth, they don't realize a lot of these artists. Like I was telling my daughter a few weeks ago, we was talking about what the young lady named Glorilla. Glorilla.
Yeah, drop the ER.
Yeah, Glorilla. I was like, baby.
R-E-R on the Glorilla.
Glorilla.
I said, these folks, they talk that street stuff, but they living in gated communities now. You in gated communities, you ain't experiencing this stuff. And we tend to want to live through the music. And I'm telling you, just being on different movie sets, when they say action, now we're doing the drive-by, we're doing this. And when they say cut, it ends. In real life, it don't end. You shoot somebody, now you got to go to trial, or somebody want to come kill you. It don't end. So it's not a play. It's not acting. It's real life. It's your life.
You can't come back.
And you can't come back. It ain't no reset button. I tell my children that all the time. I tell my boys, I said, ain't no reset button.
And I had a conversation recently in which it was about the music today, but then I had to reflect on how, like, Master P was out here in 1993.
Yeah.
Saying the same thing. Murder, kill. Yep. Mac, Fiend, all of No Limit,
Ice-T.
Then go to Cash Money, Ice-T, NWA, like. So I think we got to look outside of the variable of music to see what else is changing, because you have to be primed to be somebody that is capable of becoming the music that you listen to. You have to be somebody who has a low propensity for empathy with people. You have to have somebody who's grown up in an environment that gives you so little that you're willing to harm or hurt to get something from, what you don't have. You need to be in front of people who keep harming you over and over, that's willing to send you out into the community being violent. Like, it's a lot more parts to it. And I think we need to get to the point of isolating it out, because it's real easy to say, it's because of that music them kids listen to.
Yep.
Or it's because of them games them kids playing. but ain't none of them saying, what about their environment? And not just in terms of their parents, but in terms of their community, in terms of their government system. Like government's failing a lot of people in these situations. I don't know what state it was, maybe Wyoming. One of these states just voted against paying for school lunches for kids, and they increased their allowance for their meals from $35 to $45 as politicians. And with the idea that the problem is lazy parents who ain't feeding their kids instead of, not everybody having access to food. And so a bunch of kids who are hungry, like Pastor Troy in one of his lyrics said, I started selling dope when I was younger. What would you choose, selling dope or hunger? And so it's like some people are out there having to participate in these lives because of that.
You got to live that life.
Yeah.
And it's but I don't know. It's not no one solution. Because like we touch base on the fathers in the home, and I know when I was coming up, I got my butt whooped at school. It wasn't nothing said by my parents. I walked home from school. And I knew not to cuss. If I cuss, if anybody heard me cussing, they can go tell my parents, and I get in trouble again. So it was like, it goes back to that old saying: it takes a village to raise the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people nowadays, we see somebody's child out there. If I see your child out there acting up, I see your child out there acting up, I ain't gonna say nothing because their parents might go off on me. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't used to be like that. The parents used to be right. If I said your son was doing this, the parent took my word and they disciplined their child. Nowadays, the parents want to fight the other parents.
But see, that's why I was saying I said music as a one other things, but I do think it's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
But in that combination of everything, we had balance on each side.
Yeah.
So in the music, we had rap, but we had R&B. We had inspirational, and at that point we was going to church, so we had gospel too. So it balanced out the rap. When you look at parenting, what my mama or dad may miss, like you was just stating, Lester, the neighbor called. And if the neighbor called it, now I'm gonna tell your parent, and you still gonna get it by the parent. So that's what I'm saying. It's a totality of everything, but in that everything, we had a balance in our day.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you something so crazy. Now, this the silly side of me coming out. Everybody wants to be a killer now. When we was growing up, we wanted to slow dance with the young lady. You know what I'm saying? It was love. Now everybody wants to be a gangster.
It started kind of switching up with my generation. It started switching up. Yeah. Like it was about balance then too. Like I'm a slow dance, but I ain't a killer, but don't push me too. Like it was a good mix.
Right.
Now I'm a killer and a slow dance to what? Because I just told you the playlist. There was no gospel, no jazz, no what blues. What is that? Well, they may know some blues and Southern soul, because but
only I left home to be with my side.
like something even worse, right? So it's no balance. And so you end up talking about the importance of mental health. You meet a therapist and it's like, I've really seen some breakthroughs in conversation, because dang, I've never done this. Okay, you've never done it. We do a session, but then you go back to that environment where their parents are my age and their parents are the people that I already knew, like, oh, you're gonna be a problem, and then you have children, now they are it's a cycle.
And I think the stuff that we did, I often rap when this comes to the youth. I rap this song Mystical.
Which one?
The ghetto child trying to make it.
Okay.
If you listen to his part when he rapped that, he was like, okay, I'm in this life, but this is nothing that I wanted to do. I'm doing this because this is what I had to do to make it. Now they're doing this for the imagery of it. Not that you necessarily have to go through this to make it. You doing this because that's what you want to do, because you live in the suburbs. Yep. You don't live
it's hard over
where
here.
You hear gunshots every night, but yet you still want to be like you about that life, like you in that life every day. Why?
I heard T.I. tell his boys, he's like, you could never be a gangster. I did all the gangster for you. I got you in this gated community now. Got you well off.
And look at his son.
So,
but listen to his lyrics.
You can't be a gangster because you're not struggling. You're not rolling to get your next meal or to keep a roof over your head.
This gangster. Okay, so I'm starting to hear some things now as we discuss gangsterism. Does it matter where I'm from to be able to say that I am a gangster or not? Or is that a mindset and something that's in my spirit that makes me a gangster? Like, I have gangster tendencies, but I live in Alabaster in a gated community, but this is in me. This is who I am.
Yeah, it's
what
in
are we
us.
saying?
I think the collective streets need a justification.
Something.
And I think that's what we see with the Ja Morant situation.
Here we go back to him.
He out here with guns. He out here wilding out. But like everybody is like, hey, you grew up in the suburbs. These behaviors are not justified. So I think the community needs justification for you portraying what is perceived to be things that gangsters participate in. Otherwise, they're not going to accept that you're a gangster.
Listen to this comment from Jeffrey Cobb that kind of speaks to that. That's the dilemma. We are trying to drink from two wells, salt water and fresh water. You can't serve two masters.
Well said.
Okay.
And I think that kind of came from our generation. When we was growing up, it was the game is to be sold, not to be told.
Yeah.
And I had a revelation about it. It's because the reason why they're going the way they're going is because I saw the life you lived, and since you didn't tell me about it, now I got to make it up for my own.
Let me give you some deals.
You see what I'm saying? I don't want to pay you, yet I see the end result is that you got the house, you got the money, you got the cars, you got the image, but you didn't necessarily tell me how and why you got it. But so now I have to make up a whole storyline of my own to get there. So however it be, scamming, killing, stealing, robbing, I just have to have the image that I saw of you, but not necessarily how you got there, because you told me I had to buy it from you and I wasn't finna pay you for it.
Because let's say that T.I. somehow could block his kids from ever knowing about his past.
Okay.
They never would have known they never would have had a perception of the identity of gangster life. It's like, as much as a T.I. would like to believe that his kids don't have to be gangsters, he, like you're saying, he's created a situation where his kids know that his success came from that life. So how can I not see some kind of value in that? You saw value enough in it. And then even when you got out of it, you still rapped about it the whole time.
Like you still
like, Daddy, this is what it is. And I'm quite sure their household don't operate like it operates the same way. Like, you can take me out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of me. So yeah, I'm in a gated community with whatever it is that I want and need, but it's probably still, when I first met T.I., true story, he had a white t-shirt on with Kool-Aid stains on it. Like dusty, and on tour, and I probably already had money, but that don't mean you don't dribble Kool-Aid out your mouth. We always lose sight of that. Just because I move up or out does not mean that I have changed as a whole person. Like, no, that's not what happens.
And I think it kind of, I'm not a therapist, so y'all help me out with this. It plays to an insecurity level to say that this is what I have to be like to assert what I think is the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, therapist, kind of sort of life coach. You want
let me fix your
life. We ain't gonna give you a therapist title, but you kind of coaching a little bit.
It's that balance. It's always a thing. When a deficit exists, you're gonna do whatever you can do to make that, to take it to that opposite end of that deficit. Like, if your deficit at 80%, you're gonna fight tooth and nail to get it to the good 80%.
Yeah.
And good might not mean good in terms of like something that's healthy. It may mean thugging heavy, for somebody, because they grew up in an environment where they were picked on, bullied, saw the other older kids having something, and they were having something through illegal activities. And it's like, I got to get up there. Meaning I got to punch harder. I got to be ready to hurt more. I got to be willing to do things that it just take to get there.
So go ahead, Lester.
It all, it's like we said, it's not no one answer. And that's the reason I was hitting home on the trades.
Yeah.
The trades and heating, air, whatever it may be, mechanic. We got to give the youth hope. So you guys not glorifying the guy with the big wheel selling the dope, even though he might have a lifespan or a run for 4 or 5 years. You want to find something you can do the rest of your life and live. So that's when I said we gotta have more opportunity.
For sure. For sure. I agree. Like I said, last week we had a full show about that, talking about a school designed to help people get the skill, carpentry. What else was the part of that?
But they're implicating that now, right? In high schools.
And some of them, yeah. It's so important. You got to go through a million like you gave us. We got you, and then we got the person over you for mechanics. But then, like, I need a good plumber or a good electrician. And it's, back in the day, you could find people to do work, but now it's like,
yep.
We used to be those people.
Yeah.
We used to be those people that knew how to do everything.
Right.
And now
ain't do nothing.
And if they do, it's
I start on it. I'm not coming back to the project.
Right. Scamming.
All you got to do is go to Black Business Traffic.
Okay.
Hey,
plug it.
Black Business Traffic.
But that speaks to, this is why you're so vital. That speaks to the deficits. That really does speak to all of the deficits. There are places for it, but then in order to get businesses on business traffic, they gotta want it. So like in schools, and then a lot of times you hear about students that have dropped out that in turn end up in the streets. Like, well, yeah, I got to the 10th grade, but that wasn't for me. I got kicked out or whatever the case may be, and nobody sweeps them up. Nobody positive sweeps them up to put them in those trade spaces. Right. The streets gonna sweep you up real quick because you need some money real quick. You outside.
You gonna sink or swim?
Oh boy!
When you're in the quicksand of your trauma, the hand that reaches down to help you can be the neighborhood goon, or it can be the neighborhood motivator.
Yeah.
It's we need more neighborhood motivators out there. We need more people who the hands that's reaching down to give them some guidance needs to be a healthier one. We know that there's an abundance of unhealthy people in the community for that. We just got to position our communities to have more of the positive.
And some of them are scared.
They are.
Somebody had a post going about, how the youth are living now. And they were saying, what can I tell them when they drive a Dodge Charger and I'm sitting here in just a Nissan Altima? What they gonna want to know from me? And I'm like,
why they gotta see what you drive?
Still shouldn't. I guess it was just saying in comparison of the lifestyle of living, you working a 9 to 5 to get this Altima, but yeah, you hustling, doing whatever you're doing, and you got money in your pocket to do that. How they gonna hear from me? But my thing was to him, still tell them the truth. That's the truth. That when you really think about it, the lifespan in that lifestyle ain't long.
There we go. It's not like tomorrow's not promised anyway, but you're definitely running a shorter course.
And I know it's we got a series, but look at Franklin St. James. We just seen it on Snowfall.
I mean, he in the whole show.
No spoilers.
A whole, like, you was up there, and now you ended being a wino. That's how quickly that life can change for you.
I really liked it. I hadn't seen the episode, but that's real life.
Yeah.
Think about how many drug dealers we've seen had it all, and now they own this stuff.
Yeah, they just had to resort to,
look at them, judge their life like, okay, at 40, where are they? A lot of them not still in the game. If they are, they, hustling off little pieces. You dead or locked up.
Or you own it.
Or you own it.
Yeah. So one of the four. And then in some cases you have been able to completely turn it around, and now I'm whatever, I got this going, whatever it is that it may be. I'm not gonna start saying things because then I can be like, oh, she was talking about. No, I'm not. I'm not talking about you.
We'll probably got some of this experience on the therapy side, but one thing I had to do, because when I get a kid to work with, sometimes they're going to leave me nearly the same way I got them.
Yeah.
If you just look at their life. I can work for them for a year or two, and they may look the same as a lead. I had to start measuring what I was doing by knowing that what I was doing was planting seeds.
Yeah.
That hopefully the environment that they come to be in one day is one that can cultivate that thing to grow. And I think we have to measure what we're doing for those kids by believing that we're giving them something that at some point they will be put in a position
where it can bloom
to adopt what that was.
Yeah.
And if we measure it by having to see them doing better, then we're going to get lost in that, because we're not going to be able to see the the fruit from the labor that you do.
To that point, Eddie, which is a great point, like we do see this work even with adults, like you say children, but even with adults who, like I work with a lot of couples and, well, I'm in a bad relationship and I don't know what to do with it. Well, okay, get these seeds, plant these seeds, and hopefully once, you can put them in safe soil, they'll grow and you'll have skills. So that type of thing. But what I was thinking about while you were saying that, one thing for sure, and Twan, you kind of said something too about people being afraid. Listening to the group tell me it's often that people are disrespectful. Like the trigger for them is that folk y'all be talking crazy. And I'm like, well, what is that? Tell me what that is so that maybe I can start helping people learn how to communicate better. It's just like always, pull your pants up, blah, blah, blah. That man over there be talking to us crazy all the time. I don't like her because she be talking. I'm like, what is talking crazy? So they started telling me. So I'm like, okay, maybe we need a communication boot camp for the community. This is when you see somebody, smile at them. Hey, how you doing, love?
Yeah.
Like, talk,
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be reminded about how to communicate. They don't need somebody always fussing. Yeah, you might mean well, but don't come fussing at me. Hey, what you think? What you got going on today? Like, just be approachable, be nice, be gentle.
And I think some of the issue may be they're scared to stoop down to somebody's level.
Who that? The
Whoever
community?
the encourager is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay,
been down to pick me up.
You have to understand everybody had different experiences.
Yeah.
Everybody has been in different places in their life. But it took somebody to stoop down to help you, right? Not knowing what height they were at, but they still had to get to you to how you can get it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of church word, but ministry.
Yeah, get off your high horse.
You kind of got to shift with the environment that you're in and decrease yourself to say, well, maybe I can find a different way to say it, but still get it across to where you get it. So it can't be, you need to pull your pants up
right
to, hey man, that ain't really attractive.
But why? Look, I'm gonna say this. For me, I don't even care if your pants are up or down. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about the real issue. Your pants being up or down is not about to impact you deciding if you're finna go blow up a school.
I want to say why you got that extendo.
Yeah, that's what's pulling your pants down. It ain't even
like you trying to hide and to conceal it now. It's out.
Yeah, that's why your pants are down. So I don't care about your pants down. Why you got that just to go? But I understand. Like we do understand. I got that just to go over here because they looking for me over here, and they. See, now we got a whole nother conversation to have, but I'm not afraid to have that conversation. So we can't be afraid to have those conversations. You ain't looking for me. So I can talk to you and ask you questions because I ain't do it.
It was crazy. I was at a gas station in West End and a dude was dressed like in his pajamas. He had on like a regular like flannel pajama shirt, had on a tank top, and then he had on like a girl's little jacket, but he had a chopstick stuck down in his pants and it was hanging out the shoulder of his jacket.
So none of this was making sense.
At a gas station, bro, you going to pump gas.
But that's where it goes down.
What do you need? But that was my thing, like what you're saying. We're at a gas station. Not that you have a pistol. No, I can understand that. You got a chop right on here. What are you in right now that you need that? I understand protection. I get that. But you need this. And he looked like a little young cat, little slim dude. And you
with pajamas and a girl jacket.
Go ahead. I'm saying, like, dude, it's uncomfortable you walking in it because you're trying to conceal it.
Like, what is you doing?
But what are you doing? Man, I quickly got my gas and I urged out because it do go down at these gas stations now, and they ain't trying to be no innocent bystander.
Or go somewhere else to get your gas.
I've heard this so many times, though, because like I said, I talk to the youth and I know exactly what you're saying. And I have spoke to young men and I'll be like, man, what about the military?
Right.
What about the military? And the first thing I hear from most youths, I don't want to get killed in the military.
But you want to get killed at the gas station.
I said, your chance of getting killed is greater in Birmingham, Alabama, than John in the military.
Because you said you were shot after the military.
I was shot when I came years later at my house.
See, like,
so, I understand what you're saying. We walking around with the rifles and doing this, but nobody don't want to join the military. The military really helped me. It gave me more discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried, I'm always try to be humble. and respectful because I was raised that way. I was raised yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Mhm.
Some of these youth now, I might be older and I might say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Oh, don't call me ma'am. Don't. That's me. I'm being respectful.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with age, and it carries a long way in life. Yes, ma'am.
I
No,
feel you.
ma'am.
I've been that because I'm thinking, no, I ain't that old. Don't be calling me no.
It's just respect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it depends on who doing it. Like now, if Lester over here, yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, like it depends.
Yeah, it kind of.
Huh?
Call me man.
But these children, whoever said these children, yes, ma'am. Okay, all right. What we got on? Let's say everybody speaking to you. Y'all better speak to all us when you come in here. Larry Harkless Jr. and Lori Harvey. Hello to Vital.
At the gas station either.
Yeah. Hello, Vital. Okay. Hello, the Gabrielle Simone. Hello, Vital. Okay.
That's a very talented young lady.
Okay. Hey, talented young lady. Hello, Vital. All right. So shouts out to everybody who's tuned in and checking
Skit
out.
Squad.
Checking out I guess the first VIP. Look at Larry. He said, hello, Vital. Okay. The Skit Squad. Shouts out to all of you. Sounds like something that I used to be talking about back in the day. I'm gonna have to check y'all out. So what else happened this week? What was popping this week?
In national news.
Laura, you about to get deleted right quick. Let me go and delete you because you playing too much.
Ralph Y'all, who was shot by an old man by going up to the
oh
room.
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. Along with a whole bunch of other hosts of people who've been shot
mistakes
by people who just went to the wrong place.
Or the ball rolled in the yard.
Yeah,
you heard about that?
I heard that one too.
Yeah, a little
crazy.
girl, a little like 4 or 6 years old.
Another girl backed up into somebody.
I was gonna say that
somebody's
somebody just
yard.
told me about that today. Yeah. Like you can't even
make a mistake. Nope.
I mean, it wasn't even necessarily a mistake. I'm trying to turn around. Far be it, this is your driveway. I understand that, but you got to dump at me because
you turned around in my driveway.
The cheerleaders were walking out of the store, went to the wrong car.
Went to the wrong car, yeah.
The guy in the car got out of the car and shot them.
Came and shot them, yeah.
They survived, but still.
It's crazy.
Like
one is in critical condition. She got hurt. And the other one, not the one who went into the car by accident, but
the other one was shot.
Yeah, she was shot.
So is this play on fear for my life?
Yeah. Stand my ground because I was scared. Where you going? Why you pulling my door? Yeah. Why you knocking on my door? Then they said with that case, the first case we talked about with the 84 or 86-year-old man, this man says, don't come around here no more, or you don't belong around here. So
his grandson actually was on saying that he is a well-known racist.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And he looked kind of black. So
I need to see him. I read it.
Well, he had like dreads, but
where is he? Okay. So yeah, a lot has happened. And I guess what I hear from all of this is to be careful. Like be very careful. If you don't know where you're going, don't turn around. Like be very, very careful. And I do that. Like I may make, we'll pull up on somebody's driveway right quick and whip out and go the other way. Just go the whole block.
Yeah. One thing I've known about some people who live that life, they taught me keep your head on the swivel.
On the swivel.
Always, be observant of your surroundings, whether you're there for a particular purpose or not. Always be on the lookout. I mean, and I do that from everywhere. And it's sad that you even have to do that now for church.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't even worship comfortably because you're trying to look around every time the door swing open to see who that is.
Yep.
So.
Well, guys, be safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Amazing show tonight. Thank you to our guest. We covered a lot. The Man Box, the Black Business Traffic app. We talked to our first VIP guest of the season, Mr. Lester Milligan. We've covered all types of stuff. So just big show tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. It was Man's Night, Men's Day here on Vital. Be sure to tune in tomorrow afternoon at noon, for the Lady Woo's Midday Fun Shui each and every weekday, 12 to 3. I'm just looking. I be looking. And when I get to looking, that means it's time to go. Yeah, have a great night. I got to look. I said, who is that?
Where's your brother?